The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by this podcast and anyone else are for entertainment purposes only. One thing for sure, two things for certain. It is not that serious. We are not advertising, acknowledging, or agreeing with anything expressed. So don't ask me any questions because I won't tell no lies.
For the streets, we're twerking. We're doing the most. We dominate rap and the culture that is very sexual, especially in the U.S. So a lot of men see us as easy targets to have sex with. And we have the highest rate of having children outside of marriage, wedlock. And so men see us as bed wenches, easy to have sex with, but they don't see us as valuable wives. Our culture, especially in the U.S., I don't know how it is in the U.K. I know it's a little different.
Okay, I'm going to pause for a second. I have to pause on that. So she said men see us as bed wenches. They don't see us as anything else. I don't know what kind of world she's living in, but that's not how men see women. Now, there is levels to women. Okay, we got the hoes. We got the city girls. We got all that going, the hot girls. But we actually have caliber women. So when she's saying that men in the U.S. look at us as only people they want to sleep with, that's a lie. Because how many of us are actually married women? So clearly there's a man out there that sees us other than that. So for her to go all the way to the UK to speak on women of the U.S. and specifically black women while she's on a white woman's platform is already a red flag. But let me let her continue for a second. Oh, I ain't mean to curse. Let me let her continue for a second. I'm working on it, y'all. Working on it.
But our family structure is so broken and so destroyed that we really, the majority of black women in the U.S., we've been put into a position of just being, sexual, just for a man's sexual pleasure. But if they're going to take a woman serious, that's why you see a lot of black men when they become successful, they're not marrying us. I mean, they do. Okay, let me say this. 80% of black men are marrying black women, even when they're successful. But there is a huge thing where a lot of black men are going to other races. Why? And a lot of women don't understand. They say the man is racist. No, the culture that woman may have been brought up in, her submissiveness, in our culture, being rebellious, dressing provocative. It's standard. It is standard.
Okay, so there's a couple of points I got to hit on that. So she said this is the reason why when black men are successful, they go over and date women from other races. No, those are men who choose to have a preference and they want to date another race. Those are also weak level guys. I wouldn't even call them men. Weak level guys who feel like they're going to get something better on the other side. They think the grass is greener on the other damn side. So don't put that on black women while some black men are marrying people outside of their race. And talking about successful black men. Let me break it down for the sister real quick, just in case she forgot. Samuel L. Jackson is married to a black woman. Denzel Washington is married to a black woman. LeBron James is married to a black woman. Ice Cube is married to a black woman. Let's talk about it, okay? And when you look at them, the caliber of black women they're dating are not the city girls and the hot girls and the twerking and acting a fool. So those are successful black men who dated strong black women who uphold their value as women in the freaking U.S. So therefore, I'm going to just call bull on everything that she said right there and then. Okay, then you're going to talk about the culture this, the culture that, the culture is teaching us. Listen, at the end of the damn day, you make BS videos talking about take accountability. With that being said, the culture could be the culture all day. I don't give a damn how many city girls is, how many hot girls is. I'm not going to be one if I choose not to be one. If I say these are my values, these are my morals, these are my standards, it ain't that they could put on TV. It ain't nothing that they could put on the radio. It ain't nothing that they could say to me, put in a magazine in my face and tell me this is how I gotta be. That's a choice. And I'm choosing to be a better woman. And like I said, I just gave y'all examples of great women. And while I'm sitting here doing it, let me name a few. Viola Davis, married to a black man, strong, powerful black woman. Angela Bassett, married to a black man, strong, positive black woman. Like, stop playing with us. Michelle Obama, married to a black man, strong, powerful, black, good example of a black woman. So what are we talking about here? Stop disrespecting us on this white woman's platform. At that, let me let her continue.
We hate ourselves a lot. We hate our own hair. We want our butts to be the fattest. We pride ourselves on things of being bosses, having the fattest booty, being able to twerk the best, but not intrinsic values that is a wife. And to speak to Maggie, like we talk about like like colorism in our culture, because
all right, I gotta stop her because she's gonna go on another point in colorism. So she says we value ourselves on having the fattest booties and things of that nature. Hold on, who is she talking about? This is coming from a woman who got her nose done. Her nostrils don't even measure up. Why did you get your nose done to be more slender? To be more what? Like a white woman? Because you didn't like the black nose that you were born with? This is the same woman who got her breasts done to have a bigger boobs, to appear bigger in this area. And we know majority of their people have bigger boobs to look more like a white woman. Don't speak about the things that black women have naturally that you decided to cut off, chop off, and act like you're not a part of our community, and then see it as a bad thing because we upholding the things that makes us different. Okay? That's not culture to say, okay, if I got a fat, I got it. You mad because you don't have one? Because you wasn't naturally born with one? This seems like a lot of self-hatred. But I'm going to touch on that point in a minute because you know I did my research on old girl. Now let's get to her next point of colorism.
I think race is not just race, but it's colorism within our own culture where they prefer light skin, they prefer this, that, and the other. I tell you on God, an attitude like Maggie, a lot of men, like, regardless of anything, like, you know, to me, there's such a peace and an aura about her that a lot of women can learn from of every race, but particularly in the Black community, that's not standard model, like who she is. Like if you come around Maggie, you just feel loved on. You feel like home. And so I think a lot of Black women can retain that. But if we're talking about race, we're talking about Black women. Let's just be honest about it. We're talking about Black women, not we have the lowest marriage rates. We have the highest birth rates outside of.
All right, before she starts statistics, let me say that word right because y'all got a little lisp, y'all. Okay, so Maggie, if y'all don't understand who Maggie is, I'll make sure I post a picture of that and y'all understand who Maggie is. So Maggie is a full-figured, dark-skinned Black woman, okay? And she talks very soft with a soft demeanor and tone. So she's saying that is not attracting, I guess, men when it comes to that. They don't see it. They see it as different. She's calm and she's all these different things. It has nothing to do with colorism. It's back to preference. Okay, we can say what we want to say, but a lot of men want women who are fit. They want a woman who takes care of her hair, takes care of her face, takes care of her body. That's just a fact. Maggie don't have that. Some of them don't want to, yes, sir, whatever you say, whatever you do. They don't want that. Some of them want someone who's going to say, baby, this ain't right. Let's fix it. Baby, let's talk about this. They don't want a yes, ma'am, all day, every day. So Maggie is not going to fit the average everyday man. And clearly, if it ain't working for Maggie clearly don't have something that these men actually want. And go figure, old girl not married either. She's 40 years old and divorced. Her man left her. He's out after 14 years. So she clearly don't know what the hell she's talking about. Because all your calm demeanor and acting sweet and all that, yes, sir, here's your plate, honey, didn't keep your husband. Now did it? I'm going to let her go to her statistics because I know where she's going. She's going to Kevin Samuels' blueprint. We already know how this goes.
Outside of marriage. Why is that? We have the highest number of abortions. And our behavior and the culture we promote, if you look around the world, look at our rappers, look at the culture. Most men see us as sexual tools.
Do you agree with what she was saying?
Yeah, I do.
Do you agree with what
100%.
she's saying?
Yeah.
Do you agree with what she's saying?
Partly, but not everything.
Okay, do you agree with what she's saying?
I do.
So we clearly only have one who had like a tit. Let me be clear. The culture does show that, okay? Do we not see our girls catfighting on reality TV shows? Do we not see them sleeping with other people's men and doing? Yes, we do that. We do see that. But in the same breath, the same way that you see police brutality on a high level in the media on a constant basis, it's the same way they perpetuate in this message as if it's a majority of us. It's a small fraction of us. Let the truth be told. Because when you walk outside your house, you don't always see, I know me. I can go to a business. I don't see women shaking and twerking their ass and getting high and want to with somebody else's man. I don't see that every day. In certain parts of areas, yes, that might look like the majority, but I see a lot of Black women handling their business. A lot of Black women keeping themselves covered up. A lot of Black women saying they want quality men or holding themselves to values. Hell, there's a lot of Black women in church. Let me be honest. There's a lot of Black women at the grocery store. You don't see them with their titties hanging out half the time. Yeah, you see a small fraction. And that small fraction is the one that gets maximized on television. Just like every police brutality killing. If you go look at the stats don't add up to how much times we see it in the media. So yes, are we seeing it on a high level over and over again? True indeed. But does that make up the majority of Black women and how we carry ourselves? Hell no.
What's the part that you don't agree with?
I think one that I don't know all those statistics, but I'm assuming you're talking from the US. You know, when you talk about wife culture and wife mindset, Maggie's a wife in this room, but I'm thinking
But she's rare. She's rare. Her attitude and what she is in the world, the U.S. has the highest numbers of children born out of wedlock, and the people who dominate that are black women. So this is worldwide.
So worldwide,
the single mother rate
is black women.
The single mother rate is
black
high
women
in the UK as well.
But it's black women who dominate that.
So, but we're saying that we're not raised with this wife mindset.
No, we're not. We're not. And we can blame. There's a lot of reasons for it. It's not just because we're the worst or anything like that. It's not what I mean.
But I think that's what you have to break down, because if we're going to then speak to black women and say these things, you have to then come with reasonings, because there's so much. We already get that you are this, you are this, you are that. If we're then going to add to that ourselves, you have to be responsible to add a solution and a background.
But the solution is you have to take accountability. I don't care what your background is.
There goes that accountability word. So who was accountable for why she lost her husband? Was it her? Is she going to take accountability for that? At the end of the day, they keep saying we have the lowest marriage rates. We have the highest abortion rates. Okay, you want to say that. But guess what? When we look at the black woman's abortion rates, the white women ain't too far behind. Okay? White women, yeah, they might be staying married, but when they 40, 50, 60 years old, they divorcing on a high damn rate. We're not talking about their divorce rate. We talk about their divorce rate on lower levels, but we don't talk about how they get divorced in the 40s and 50s and 60s. When you actually should be staying married, staying together because you're both about to die off. They're not talking about that. So the reality is to act like that black women can't get married, not get married. And then you want to talk about single mothers. Honey, you are a single mother right now. You are a 40-year-old single mother and you are unmarried. Your man left you. Okay, so stop talking about like the young girl was saying. I'm sorry, I don't know her name. I'll figure it out. But like she was saying, stop talking about the problem and talk about a solution. But see, the problem is Melanie does not have a solution. She's a part of the problem. She has no result. So she can't even speak from a place of solution because she doesn't know what it's like to have the solution and keep the solution, if you get my drift. You understand? So we need to stop talking down on black women. Like I said again, I'm going to touch this point later and I'm going to really dig in. On a white person's platform. We keep giving them content to make money off of us. And they're going to sit here and sit back and be like, giddy, giddy. Because that's all that pearly girl doing. That's all she's doing is using us. She's a whole panel of black people on a white woman show talking down about black women. And mind you, this show is in the UK. These are people from the UK. Leo, your people. These are people in the UK speaking of things of the US. You have no idea how it is over here. You can only assume. You don't know what it's like over here.
We live in the most privileged society in the world. Even though the worst circumstance of a black woman today is nothing but it was 100 years ago. Especially if you want to talk about the U.S. slavery. I don't know how it was in the U.K. I mean, I do know it wasn't like it was in the U.S. But if black woman made a choice Maggie made a choice that was better than the next black woman, then you have a standard now that you need to live up to. And I think a lot of times we want to just say, well, it's somebody's fault, to the government, it's this, that. A lot of races, you look at the Jewish people and what they've gone through in society.
I'm stopping. I know the hell she didn't try to bring up slavery in the U.S. and compare it to the Jews. And I'm going to say that junk. Jews, the white Jewish. Let me say Jewish because they're not Jews. They're Jewish people and compare slavery. Slavery and the Holocaust do not compare on no kind of level. And we could go down that road. But let me just show y'all how Shorty don't know her history. This is why she's so out of touch with black people. So for her to speak on black people is wrong because you are so out of touch. You're not even connected to us to even speak on us. But let me show you how she don't even know what the hell she's talking about when she speaks. Hold on.
It's a lot of the same atrocities. In fact, all of the Bible, all of the Israelites and the Hebrews were actual slaves. Like it was a known thing. Mm-hmm. And so what I'm saying is if we have to take accountability.
So who's going to tell her? Who's going to tell her? Who's going to tell her that the Israelites and the Hebrews from the Bible are black? Not white Jewish people, but actually black Israelites, black Hebrews, black Jews. So she's just talking about the slavery we endured. They never endured slavery. The Jewish people only endured the Holocaust. And it wasn't that bad. And you want to be technical, if you really want to know your history, they actually was not the ones killed in the Holocaust. We heard about a lot of black people killed in the Holocaust. It was black Jews killed in the Holocaust. And when they were moved out, when they were exterminated, then the white Jewish people came into that land. Let's talk about truth and facts and history. She don't even know what the hell she's talking about. And then the nerve of you to compare black people to the Jewish community, the same Jewish community who runs these networks, the same Jewish community who runs the record labels, the same Jewish community who pump out the message of us in a certain light, and your magazines and your videos and your TV shows, they run it, they own it. So while you want to see and talk about us seeing this is our culture, they're creating the culture for us by only showing a small fraction of us in a terrible light. The Jewish community's doing that. We're not. Yeah, we got black people that's going to do it. Hell, like, you know, we got a Shaquana, we got a Shaniqua, we got a Pookie, we got a Ray Ray, we got them. But it's a small fraction of them. If you go to your family reunion, how many Ray Ray, Shaquana, and Pookies in them is there? It's not many. It's a small percentage. But the Jewish community takes that and makes it the broad example of us. That's what they do. So don't sit here and try to compare black people to the Jewish community, because we can go down that damn rabbit hole. But let her finish.
We want to keep pointing. Let's not point any more of what the government and what it is. What do black women need to change today? What are we promoting? Are you twerking? Are your friends twerking online? Are they showing their booty? Are they dressing for the streets? Are they thinking about serving a man? Most black women today, it is sacrilegious. It is almost insulting them to say serve a man a plate. It is like discombobulate them. It's almost they get aggressive and mad and call you a pick-me for giving a man a plate, taking his plate. You want some more to drink? You want some more to eat? It's a pleasure. Megan and I were having a conversation like most black women don't know the joy, and I'm not blaming. Get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm saying this from a point of view that a lot of black women don't know the other side of this conversation. We're talking about it is a joy to see a man light up. Like, what's for dinner? Like, excited about bringing the plate, and he's so satisfied. You think you have to be sexual to make a man so happy and want you? I'm gonna tell you what. We come in and I'm serving your man. I'm taking him like he's gone.
So you minimize women to fixing plates. Dinner is served, honey. I'm your maid tonight. I'm your waitress tonight. Literally, that was your epitome of an example of a woman in a household. Honey, you don't even know what white qualities are. Clearly, your man divorced you. So even fixing him plates and bringing him plates every night was not a joy to him. Clearly, you were missing other attributes. That is not a quality of a wife or a quality of a woman. That's a quality of a person who hungry and know we all gotta eat. Okay? Because at the end of the day, I'ma serve my husband a plate. Sometimes he gonna serve me a plate. Hell, sometimes we gonna serve the kids first. Like, what are we talking about? That is not a highlight of a man's day, is to see a woman bringing him dinner. Really? Because clearly it didn't work for you. So for now, here she goes talking about, if I serve your man, I could take him. I dare you to try. There's nothing you can do, clearly, to get a man to want you based on just serving him. And you should know, Melanie, you're divorced. Your man left you. So clearly that did not work. Like I said again, stop listening to people who don't have results. They're just lying out their teeth. They're throwing shit at the wall and hoping something will stick. And serving a plate is not bringing a man a smile to his face. Yes, will that be nice? Yes. Will he like that? Will he like it just as much as he put the lingerie in? Yes. Will he would like it just as much as you was be silent and let him watch his sports? It's no different. There's time and places for everything. But you think if you're going to serve your man a plate 24/7, he's going to be like, oh, the best wife in the world. You got another thing coming, because the marriage is a lot more than feeding a damn man a good meal. Know that.
He's gone. He's out of your life. Why? Because I'm coming in with wife features. I don't have to dress a certain way. I don't have to do certain. I don't have to twerk. We've been sexualized. And what you have to understand, the way we are behaving today in our mindsets, we want to blame the government, but you have to understand the mindsets we have today, the independent, sexualized ways that we are. You ought to be mad that that's how you have to be, what our culture has become, because it has been put upon us.
Okay, so for me, my perception, I do agree with a lot of what you're saying, but for me, it comes from a place of, let's talk about self-worth, and let's talk about how black girls and black women can increase our self-worth, and therefore you're coming from a place of help. Because if you're talking about other cultures, the Jewish culture, any other cultures, they are a community, and they don't, I feel like it's only our culture that constantly talks bad about each other so publicly.
It's true.
Talk so bad about each other so publicly on a white person's platform. We're the only one who does it. Let me break down this white person platform real quick. So Pearly Pearl, whatever her name, Pearly Things, whatever she want to call herself, the pregame show, that's what we're referring to. She has the nerve to sit here and talk down on black women as if white women are so upheld and so perfect. It's the craziest thing to me. Don't they have poor white trash? Doesn't Honey Boo Boo represent them? Doesn't Amber Heard represent them? Don't Hillary Clinton's trifling ass Monica Lewinsky represent them? Hello? Why are we the topic of discussion on a white woman's platform as if they don't have their own white issues they need to correct in their own damn backyard? We're not talking about that. They on meth. They on welfare. Also, they're having babies out of wedlock. Hell, Teen Mom is predominantly white. White little girls becoming teen moms and praising it. That's their stuff. That's their issue. That's their problem. But they want to go right to the, black women, they're having babies in 11 rates. Oh, they're having, what about y'all white women? You can't make content around that and then got the nerve to try to, like she said, young girl said, pin black people up against each other so publicly on your platform. Amazing. And the cycle perpetuates. It repeats itself. Here we go, giving them entertainment. Let's fight each other. It's like Mandingo warriors fighting in front of the slave master. Only now they got women. I'm better than you. I'm wifey. I'm not a pick-me. Well, honey, Melanie, let's be clear. You are a pick-me. You are. You are a pick-me. I'm going to call you right out. But you're a pick-me that has not been picked. Nobody has chosen to make you a wife. And the one that did, he left that with good reason, I can see.
True.
So publicly.
It's true.
So if we're going to have this conversation, you come from a place of how can we help each other and build each other up? Maggie kindly then spoke to this lady and said, can I just say, out of respect, next time, think like this. Next time, put the right things in order. And I think that was the most beneficial thing that she got from this conversation, rather than all the questions of how did this happen? How did this happen? And being accusatory. Come from a place that Maggie was saying, how do we help each other with building up our self-worth and kindness, and stop with the constant, well, we're this, because we are talking bad about ourselves.
But this is the thing. Black women want this soft tone, but we don't give what we want to receive. So we were talking about, but Maggie did, but look at most black women today. There's an aggression. There's a dominance. There is a thing. And I understand because most of us have been raised very masculine because we didn't have fathers.
I'm going to stop her right there because they're going, here go that masculine talk again. Listen. Personality types are personality types. Yes, can circumstance and experience change how people respond to certain things and make them more, have a wall up and have a more a defensive exterior? Of course it can. But to keep saying because we wasn't raised this way or we came up like this, and yeah, that could be part of the factors. But the truth is, if somebody's coming at you, you're not going to be just soft speaking. It's like a damn lion coming after your damn calf. I mean, your cub. Are you just going to let it take your child, or you going to fight back and become aggressive? At the end of the day, you can't sit here and think somebody's going to talk at somebody and somebody's not going to talk back at them. That's what's going to happen. Like, for instance, I want to say it's in Proverbs, and a lot of people don't know where they just start off in the Bible. Start off in Proverbs. It's going to teach you how to be a balanced individual, okay? And one of the things in Proverbs, it says, a soft answer turns away wrath. So if you, and the other person, clearly that's not working. So try talking to them with some common decency and respect. You can still be assertive. You can still be stern. You can still get your point off. But you don't have to sit here and be like, you ain't you a bitch, you a hoe, you ain't never gonna be nothing, you gonna die alone. What kind of result you gonna get back from that? What kind of response you think you gonna get back from that? Oh, I am? Oh, I'm sorry. Hell no. It's gonna be fuck you. Who you think you talking to? And then when you do that, you're masculine all of a sudden. No, I'm defensive, stupid.
Have fathers in the home. Our mothers relied on us. Our mothers didn't teach us certain things. So we want what we're not giving out to the world. So you want the tone of Maggie, then be Maggie. Like, no one's making us choose the things. Everyone comes from somewhere. My mother was 14. Mm-hmm. Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But no fault of her own. Her black mother kicked her out of her house.
Mm-hmm. I have to stop right there. So she said the mothers are being raised up, the fathers is not there. Well, from my understanding, I did some research on Melanie, and she brings up a story. She's bringing up a story about her mother right now, and we're getting that point. But she brings up a story about her father never calling her princess or queen, right? He always said she was chubby, and he called her meatball, and she was chubby, and he used to tell her to lose weight all the time. But your father was already raising you wrong, because this is the reason why you got cosmetic surgery as a grown-ass woman, because of your trauma based on how your father was raising you. Not no wrong that your mother did, but what your father taught you, that you were fat and you were unattractive. So now you feel like you had to chop pieces of your nose off. This is why you want to get breast enhancements and all this other stuff, and pile on 10 times of makeup on your face and put on filters every time you cam up on IG. That came from your father, sis. So clearly, you can't sit here and talk about black women being a problem when there's a black man that's sitting here perpetuating that cycle of women hating themselves. Your black father did that to you. Talk about your father trauma, sis. Okay, let's talk about that. Now, as far as her mother, she wants to go ahead and say this. Now, I want y'all to pay attention how she said, my mother, who is RAPE'd, so can't say that, whatever reason, monetizing. I don't know why they want to clip that word. But RAPE'd, and it was her black mother who put her out. She made the emphasis on black mother, not just her mother. Now, from my understanding, Melanie's mother is white or mixed. Her mother is black. Her grandmother is black. So now that shows me that you have a hatred against black women based on what your black grandmother did to your white or mixed mother. So you already got trauma there. You blaming your black grandmother and taking out all us black women. We ain't her, sis. We us.
White nuns took her in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no fault of her own. She made a choice. She didn't talk to her family for nearly 7 years. She decided to go to college. She was going to make something for herself. She went on, joined the Air Force, went to college, got her degree. The only person in her family, while the rest of them made different choices. Then she went on. I grew up in the Pentagon because of my mother. I had an internship in the White House because of my mother. Her circumstances were what they were, but she went on to make a different choice. Mm-hmm. So every time we say these things, and she raised me the way she did to try to get me the results. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. She's not perfect.
Let's case in point. So she was a child of privilege. Yeah, her mother made a better decision from being RAPE'd, switched it over. She made an emphasis. Remember, she made an emphasis to say black mother put her out. White nuns took her in. You see, do you already see her problem? She is giving them the white knight light. She's putting the queen halo on the white woman as the savior for her mom, and the black mother as the criminal, the one who did something wrong against her mom. So clearly get that point right there. Okay, that's what she's doing right here. Then she's going to say, my mother did all these things, put Pentagon, I was in the Pentagon, and she went to school and got to college. I'm commend her mom, because it's hard to be out here dealing with the circumstances you deal with and then still make it on top. Commendable. But then she said, pay attention to her words. Words mean things. She said, and my mom raised me to try to get the results. So Melanie just admitted to y'all she does not have the results. So regardless of being raised in privilege, regardless of her mother getting the right way that she thought she should train her, she still failed. And still is failing. She just admitted she doesn't have results. She said, try to get me the results. Now, watch this, because as we go further, she's going to try to tackle on another black woman out of pure envy and jealousy. Watch the play.
She's not perfect. None of us are perfect. But I think a lot of black women, especially Kevin Samuels, who was my mentor, a lot of black women are against him. He was one of my friends. He was my mentor. And so a lot of women got mad at his tone because they never had a father talk to them and discipline them. He sounded just like my father. So I was like home to me, because I knew a man who loves you and loved black women, and that's what it was. That's what we were so harping on tone, and we want all this kindness, but are we giving it out? Most black women are extremely aggressive, extremely combative.
I got to stop because she's going to get off the Kevin Samuels point. First of all, y'all, red flag again. Sister got so many red flags, literally. It doesn't make any sense. She has more red flags than a boy on a date. It's crazy. She said Kevin Samuels is, or past tense, was her mentor. Okay? Case in point, she's over 40, single mother, divorced. Okay? Right now. We know how Kevin Samuels usually handle those type of women. He said they're going to die alone, should get a cat because they're going to die alone, or they should just be giving their coochie away. So sis, why you not following your mentor's advice? Why you over here trying to act like you're vetting men and you're taking your sweet time? You don't have time, sis. Your clock running out. Ain't that what your mentor said? These are two people in the same boat. Kevin Samuels had no results to prove that he could make a successful black marriage work, and she doesn't have results that she could make her black marriage work. So clearly, why are you listening to these people? Why is she even speaking as if she knows how this works? And then talk about a mentor and how he talked to black women. That man was disrespectful to black women. Yes, did he say some points that probably were true? Yeah, but I couldn't get past the fact you telling a woman to give a coochie away and telling her that she is worthless because she's a single mother. And every time a black woman comes in there, you assume that she got several baby daddies. I'm not going to get past that. I ain't going to get past his disrespect. And you damn Skippy, I'm one of those people who was praising God that he took him off earth because God got rid of him. Let's be clear. God removed him. A lying tongue is but for a minute. And if you read Proverbs, you'll understand where that comes from. His lying tongue lasted for a split second. He was around for 2 years and he was out of here. It wasn't demonetizing. It wasn't getting locked up. It wasn't them censoring him. No, he's 6 feet under. Hell, and if I could, I stomp him 9 feet under if you ask me, because he deserved to sit there and rot. So people still trying to make his message live, still trying to make his derogatory tone and his attack on black women live. I ain't gonna stand for it. And I ain't gonna stand for no mentees, mentors, granddaughters, grandsons of this dude. She's one of them. Another person without results, speaking from a place from another man who had no results. When y'all gonna wake up that these people are just trying to make dollars off you like Kevin Samuels did? Because just like her mentor, see, she did take from him. He got a nose job, she got a nose job. He put his hairline forward, she out on 10 pounds of makeup and titties. You see? You see what they do? And then want to say, we know how to get people. Well, why you couldn't get them with your original nose? Why you couldn't get them with your original hairline? Help me, sis. Help me, Kevin Samuels mentee. Help me. Exactly. Bull. I'm calling it for what it is. So you're going to stop saying it, talk about tone. He was the most disrespectful, vile male to talk to any black woman ever. I don't give a damn saying it. He was disrespectful. And you know why? Because he had a hatred for his own mother. He hated the fact that he was a product of a single family home. He blamed his mother. If y'all go and look at his history, you'll see it. He talks about it. See, me, I go research people. I go research the truth behind you. He had 2 failed marriages to black women, so he despised them. Even his own black daughter never stepped forth and said how much she adored and loved her father. You just get these mentees and these desperados sitting here talking about how much they loved him. His own daughter won't even speak on how much she loved him. Now that shows you what kind of legacy that man truly left behind.
Aggressive, but when they say, well, you need to say it nicer, but are we giving out what we want to receive?
Maybe that's where it helps, though. If you give it, maybe it will be received and it might just be soaked in and given right back.
And I don't say this to put our women down. I know the history of what we've gone through. This is more so we can have a conversation, be real with each other so that we as a community can get better results. If we're not real with each other, especially the older women talking to younger women, I want every woman in this room to win. I have no competition with you. A lot of your mothers are in competition with you.
Okay, so she tried to switch her tone and act like she's not trying to put black women down, and she just want to have a conversation. And older women talking to you, sister, you are an older woman. I don't know what age group you think you're in 40s, so you're an older woman, and you can't even talk to the younger women because, like I said again, you have no results. We don't believe you. You failed, and you can't even figure out how to turn your failure into success. You still out here struggling in a dating pool, sis. Like, what are you talking about? Women like me in my 30s is the type of women that need to talk to women in their 30s and 20s. Not you. Because I'm speaking from a place of success, current success. And I can show them, hey, I've been you. I've done it in my 20s too. You way out the game, sis. You in a whole different generation than us. I think we're Gen X and you like, what is she, a baby boomer? Come on. You can't teach us nothing. An old dog can't teach new tricks. Sorry, sis. You out of date. It's time for you to actually take advice from somebody like me. Because I can show you where you are going wrong. Period. Because you clearly don't even know how to wean men out. Kevin Samuels has been your mentor for 2 years. He's been dead a whole year. That's 3 years, sis. And you still lonely? You ain't engaged? Clearly what he was doing was not working. All those thousands of dollars you paid for consultations, sis, you can't even get your money back. Because they had to start a GoFundMe for his funeral. So you lost that. It's time for you to invest into something that's more important. But instead, she's going to make y'all invest in her BS consultations. telling you nothing. Something that she can't even prove works at all. Oh, talk about tone. Like the young girl said, I said before, a soft answer turns away wrath. The tone does matter. When I talk to people, some people say my tone be off sometimes, and I had to correct myself. Okay, maybe I came a little harsh, but I'm still going to say the same damn words. It ain't going to change. The problem is you, sis. You need help, sis. You doing it wrong, sis. Stop listening to these men, sis, because then you're going to turn around and tell you need to listen to older men. Why? Older men are in a different generation. They see their women as cook my meal when I get home, rub my feet, have my clothes ironed. They different. We not in that generation. We don't think like they thought in the 60s. We don't think like they thought in the 70s. We don't think like they thought in the 80s. That's not how we think. Meet us where we're at. Talk to us with some damn respect. Because like you said, a lot of women are out here getting this, whether it be a CEO of their company, whether it be getting a degree, whether it's taking care of their kids, whether it is loving on their men, and y'all going to talk down to them. You're not going to talk down to them. They put in work to get to where they at. You got to show them some respect. Like they said, you treat the janitor with the same respect as you treat the CEO. Ain't no different. Just because you think somebody's beneath you or younger than you, you feel like you could talk down on them. No. You talk to them, not at them, but to them. Learn something. You 40, you still don't know that. Kevin Samuels was 60 years old. I'm calling him 60 because I think he lied about his age. He was 60 years old, and he ain't know how to talk to people. That's why he garnered no results. That's why he had respect from his last two wives, and that's why he had respect from his daughter. And that's why he ain't getting no respect from a woman like me. And before you try to go on your high horse and say the women who was happy that Kevin Samuels was gone and single and lonely, I'm married. So try again, sis. You're in the single boat, not I.
Okay? Mm-hmm. They don't want you to win. They didn't raise you to be a wife because they didn't understand. They did the best with what they knew. And so it's not a point of putting you down. It's not a point of breaking you down, but saying, listen, we need to learn from Jewish culture. We need to learn some Latin culture.
I got a question. 100%. So are we all, so we all want to be more like Meghan Markle or less like Meghan?
No, absolutely not. She's a narcissist. I was a fan. My first time coming to the UK was to that wedding because I believed in what they were doing. Yeah. I recently did a video. I was the first black woman publicly on YouTube to say absolutely. Once I saw the evidence of the simping of Prince Harry and the destruction of his family, boy, but listen, Ruby Bridges, who was the first little girl in the US to go.
Wait, before we start, because I'm take the floor for a second with her whole rendition of this. Just understand how she uses words. She has a self-hatred of black people. She makes clear to show the difference between we need to take notes from the Jewish community. Yeah, they might stick together as a group. They might have that collectivism, but they aren't nothing to be prideful at. Like, oh, let's be like them. Why? Like I said, they perpetuate the cycle of the madness that's going on. Okay, they're in charge. Like you said, Kanye already exposed them for what they actually do and how they conduct business and how they actually show all this. They're supposed to have all these rules and regulations of being of these people of good moral standing, but yet they're the ones pushing the message of sex and violence and homosexuality to television. It ain't us. We don't own the networks. The Jews do. The Jewish people do. So why don't want to be like the community? I want to be better than their community. Yes, the Mexicans all don't stay together and they keep it together, but Mexican men are cheating on their wives with black women if they can find one. Come on now. And Maria and them is working in factories, slaving. Come on. I don't want to be like that. I want to be better than them. Like, what do you mean? Why do we keep comparing black people and who we should be like? We can learn the good things that they show, the good quality they show, but I want to be nothing like them. To be honest with you, I'm going to put us on a high pedestal. We are the best race out. We're the most talented, most gifted, the most intelligent, the finest, the most good looking. Period. They all hate us. The Asians, the Mexicans, the Jewish, they all hate us for good reason. We just got to start loving ourselves and loving each other. Let's stop trying to be like them and be better than them. Period. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that compare and contrast. Now, like I told you earlier, here she goes showing her hatred. Because now here she go hating on another black woman. Meghan Markle is mixed. Give her that. But she's hating on her. And I want y'all to see the play. Listen.
To go into segregation in the U.S., all the schools are segregated, black and white. She was 7 years old, went into a school for the first time, a white school. She was spit on, beat up, brutalized, and she stood what we call 10 toes. She stood taller than Meghan Markle. You do not know. You know, if you look at Martin Luther King, people who went through real racism in the world, Nelson Mandela complained less than Meghan Markle. She was only black when it was convenient. She never stood for us. Why were there no black girlfriends? Or her black family she had beef with her white family. Why was her black family not there? The only black people were there were people that she saw black people as charity, or black people like Oprah, people she didn't even know. So she didn't love us. She didn't claim us. She did nothing for us. And once I opened my eyes and see she got the right one with Prince Harry being a mark and a simp, and he had a bitterness and an anger because he's the spare. But really, y'all need to watch South Park, the episode.
Okay, let's go into it. All right. So we have this narrative of why didn't Meghan Markle be a part of us or talk about us or support us? First question I'm gonna ask, because I'm a black woman, I understand how this feels. What did black people do for Meghan Markle that she owed them anything? Y'all ever think about that ever from that perspective? What has black people done for certain black people when you will hear the most vile stories about people be like, man, they try to grab me for my money. They try to talk bad about me. They try to go to the blogs about my business. They got mad at me because I was leveling up. All they want to do is drink and party and spin up on my dough and be an entourage. Look at MC Hammer. All the black people around him. He spent his minute, went bankrupt. Where was they? So she don't owe black people nothing. They ain't did nothing for her. And she's a liar. Her mother was there. Because everybody talked about the pictures of how dark her mother was. Because people were shocked. Like, oh my God, her mom is black. So she's lying and saying her mother wasn't. Her mother was present. That's one. Two, you're hating on this black woman. Why? Because you were caught up in the Pentagon and your mom made this situation for you and you bought you some titties and you got your nose fixed that Prince Harry should have chose you instead of Meghan Markle. He chose how he's supposed to choose. And then calling that man a simp and a mark. Why? Because he defended his black wife. He defended his wife, period. And that's what a man should do. Spouses, when you get married, your spouse comes before everybody. That includes your mom, your dad, your kids even. He knows that. He understands the sanctity of marriage when it comes to that. My wife comes first. None comes before her, period. That's what a real man does. But you see, she wouldn't know a real man if he saw it now, because clearly her man left her and she can't find another one. She can't recognize a real man. She would call a real man a simp. Doesn't that sound familiar? And let's talk about racism. Racism has levels. Do not minimize Meghan Markle's experience and compare it to Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King. Those are different levels of racism. Okay? If you want to talk about colorism with Maggie, that's a level of racism. But would you minimize it compared to what Martin Luther King and them went through? I bet you wouldn't. She's hating on another black woman. And we see this happen too many times in our community. I'm not the light skin that got picked. She was. Oh, I'm mad. Girl, just say that. That's how you feel. Just say that. But her racism was just as real as Martin Luther King's and Nelson Mandela's. We know how that family get down. We know how the royal family is. Let's be clear. And they don't just have racism, they have classism. Because if you forget, Princess Diana went through classism because she didn't come from what they came from and they didn't like her. They despised her. Period. Let's talk about it. So they didn't like Meghan Markle not only because of the color of her skin, but also because her class, where she came from. So before this girl started trying to minimize it, don't listen to that bull crap. Racism is real on different levels. So is prejudice. All that stuff is on levels. You're going to experience the highest here and the lowest here. Jay-Z may get a certain type of respect from white people because he had billionaire status. This is a different level of racism he's going to deal with versus somebody who has only $1,000 in their bank account. That's when it starts turning to classism. And the white people tend to be the brunt of all of that. So instead of pointing the finger at Meghan, why don't you point the finger at the royal family and the way they do things? See, Harry saw it and he was like, I'm out. I don't want y'all or y'all money. Me and my wife gonna figure it out. That's a real man. Know the difference.
I'm glad my troll question went on that direction. Can I add like one little?
No.
Okay, I will not. I will not.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm gone.
All right, cool.
As many of you know, I was just banned on TikTok, and we are demonetized on a daily basis on this platform. If you want to help, please consider sending a super thanks below. Every donation helps, and it helps make what we do possible.
Now you got this white woman at the end. This is Pearly. This is her platform, by the way, and I'm gonna dig in her for a quick second. She's at the end begging for donations. First of all, this is a privileged white woman. This is the same one who sat here and bragged about her family having so much money and status in the UK. But here she is begging y'all to donate to her platform that is diminishing and demeaning black women. Purposely every time. If you go and look on all her videos, that's all her focus is black women. In the US at that. She's in the UK. So how is a white woman with privilege begging people to help donate to her cause? Just ask daddy for the check. It's like you asked him to start your business in the first place. Why don't you just keep asking daddy? Because daddy don't even believe in what you're doing. That's what it is. And then let's talk about her. This also is a white woman out of her prime, according to Kevin Samuels. She's pushing 30, look like she's more 40 in the face because you know how they age. Talking on how you got to be this kind of woman. You have to be more in your feminine energy. You have to dress this way. You have to talk this way. You have to act this way. But yet she has no dude in sight. She's not married. She's not engaged. She doesn't have children yet. And she's pushing 30. But what she did have was a TikToker dude who was famous, big fat black dude, who banged her walls out and deaded her. So now, according to Kevin Samuels, she's damaged goods. Who wants that? Nobody. You see what I'm saying? It's always the loser sitting on the bitch, hating on the star players in the game. And star players being us beautiful black women who are talented, gifted, got our own, we ain't got to call daddy for a check, who actually honor and respect real men, who actually get chose whether we're single mothers or not. And they're sitting on the wayside like, why you didn't pick me to join? Because you don't know how to play the game. You have no skills and no talents. Period. So we got to stop letting this white woman sit here and monetize off us, make money off us, perpetuating the cycle, getting them paid again off our content, off our struggle, off our problems. We need to create our own platforms, talk about our own stuff on our platforms and talk about solutions. And once again, I'm going to give y'all this. I'm going to leave y'all with this, but I'm going to leave you with nothing else. Stop listening. Stop taking advice from people who have no results. They can't help you because they can't even help themselves. Stop. They're lying to themselves and they're lying to you and you're falling for the okie doke. Use your resources. Use your time and your energy into better resourceful places. And it ain't with these chicks. And the day that Pearl has me on her show, because she probably would want to, I'm going to let her know straight to her face I can see what she's doing. I know what she's doing and I ain't for it. I ain't here for it. Nobody has yet to call her out. But it's about time somebody does. Quit using us. Talk about your white homes. Talk about y'all white infidelities. Talk about y'all white murders. Talk about that. Y'all got the highest serial killer rates. We ain't talking about it. Y'all the ones shooting up schools. We ain't talking about it. Y'all methed out. We ain't talking about it. Y'all on welfare. We ain't talking about it. Y'all living in trailer parks. We ain't talking about it. Y'all sleeping with your cousin, daddy, uncle, brother. We ain't talking about it. Y'all on Team Mom. We ain't talking about it. Y'all robbing people, black people, of their royalty checks, their life rights, all kind of stuff. We ain't talking about it. Y'all keep gifting non-talented actors and actresses over black talent actors and actresses in the Oscars, but we ain't talking about it. And don't y'all worry, because I'm going to talk about it. Stay on the topic of yo white people and get the hell off us. I'm out.
Just playing, but I'm saying.